Oh, yeah, I like that. A little Talon Talk Open to start the show. Brent Martineau Richard Miller. And, we've got a guest lined up tonight, including this afternoon, Bobby Kennen as well. Well, it looks like Hamby likes that thing so much he wants to do it again. You want to just keep playing it every few seconds, Hamby?
Yeah, one more time.
One more time. We got it. It's new. So we want to really showcase it. Speaking of new, I see some locker rooms being unveiled a bit. We'll get into some of that on the campus of the University of North Florida as we get our swing season just about fully underway here as we enter the month of November.
Oh, big time. And volleyball, they've got a big match coming up against Jacksonville University. That'll be Thursday night, 7 o'clock at UNF Arena. And then men's soccer keeps rolling.
How about that?
A win over JU. Really, it could have been a game where the final was 5-0. They were that good.
That dominant. And they've been pretty dominant for most of the year. So good things continue to happen. And that means also when you enter November, basketball season is right around the corner. And Bobby Kennen joins us on the show as our first guest. We'll also have Paige McSwiggan and also Jeff Pig is in town here on the show today, too. So we will highlight some of the other sports, but talk to those three folks. And we start with Bobby. One thing not about basketball, but you got to like when everything's hopping on campus and you see some momentum, right? The soccer and volleyball, things that we're talking about. You can kind of feel that on campus.
Yeah, no question. We had a scrimmage on Saturday and just kind of swimming was going on out there. I went to the soccer match on Saturday night once we got done, and Coach Pig's getting ready to roll into his conference championships. We've got a whole lot. We've got a whole lot going on. Volleyball on Thursday night, and kind of see them practicing every day. See them in the morning, and then women's basketball comes after them. So we do have a lot going on right now.
Yeah, and we get you're just the beginning of it, but not sure. Really, right? It doesn't really feel like. Does the beginning feel like the beginning for you? Because the beginning happened months ago.
Yeah, everything does. Anytime we're preparing for our first home game tomorrow with people in the stands. We had our first scrimmage the other day, and it's funny, if you're going to do something for the first time, you might as well make it memorable.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So we have a closed scrimmage, and it didn't start out very well for the Ospreys. It finished pretty good, but it didn't start out well. So my very first time out as a head coach, you guys will appreciate this. So I'm not very happy. I go to call timeout, and I actually took the whistle from around my neck and blew my own. I blew the whistle and called timeout. The three referees were kind of looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, well, we've been practicing. We had 6 weeks in the summer, whatever. We've been going for 10 weeks in the fall, and I just you're so used to having practice like blowing the whistle, and it's like, man, I was like, give me a timeout. I took the whistle. So I wound up having to take the whistle off my neck, handed to Coach Burnett, handed to our trainer, and say, hey, don't give this back to me until after the game. I don't think the referees would be too appreciative of that.
Hey, Richard, he's in control.
Yeah,
he's controlling the whole thing. I think you should start doing that during games.
Yeah. Bring it here on the show.
Hey, I mean,
right. Tell us when it's time to break.
Hey, yeah, you have to know your limits. So I actually took it off my neck and tossed it. I said, I can't have this thing, But you're so used to doing it at practice, stopping practice, running things, and I was like, yeah, we're not at practice anymore. We're actually playing a game right now, and I did that. So, hey, make it memorable, right?
What were some of the highlights of Saturday?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is we were dealing with some injuries, so I actually went into the scrimmage with no point guards. Really have 3 guys on the roster and went without any of them. So essentially, your kind of guys are forced into a different role, growing and kind of finding a way to compete. And we did. You always make it work. You never know what situations are going to come up in games, and you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to compete, and we kept competing. Like I said, we kind of got down a little bit early, and essentially lost a 2-possession game, but. We approached it a little bit different too. We played 5 guys at a time every 4 minutes.
Okay.
So wanted to get an opportunity to get a look at all 11 guys that were healthy, and our opponent really didn't do that. They kind of played their guys, and so it was good for us. And it's funny, we're going in the last media timeout, and we're down 1 with the ball, and the guys on my staff's like, hey, we want to put in the 5. Let's win this game. I'm like, no, we scripted it all, and we're going to give everybody an opportunity, and very, very pleased that we did.
That's an interesting way. I wonder from your vantage point how you look at those. Like, is there importance in winning that? Is there more importance in finding out stuff you might not know about your team and forget about what the scoreboard says? Like, how do you balance all of that in a scrimmage atmosphere?
I think in that sense, in that setting, the biggest thing is we were trying to find out as much as we could about our team.
Yeah.
and that was more important to us than winning the game. Obviously, there's that temptation because you want to win every single time you go out. And like I said, we get under that last media. It's one with the ball, and all of a sudden, like winning is real. It's right there in front of you, and that's obviously what we're here to do. But the biggest thing is we're here to find out about our team and kind of what they're made of, and see what those 5 guys that were in that rotation for that last 4 minutes, how they were going to respond and what they were going to do. But I just think that the best thing for us right now is to get as much as we can on film. We had a much longer film session yesterday than we've had at any time during this year, and it's certainly beneficial.
Just to follow up on what Richard was saying, and you mentioned a couple guys were banged up. How are they doing? I mean, is this? Are you a little concerned about the outset of the season with some injuries?
Yeah, a little bit in a sense. We have a guard that's out probably 6 to 10 weeks. We have a big guy that's out 6 to 10 weeks. We got one back yesterday, and we have another one in concussion protocol. So we were kind of getting a little bit thin there, and it's a little bit hard to practice. I told our staff, I said, if you see me walking to the table to try to check in here to play point for us, make sure you pull me back, because I don't know if anybody wanted to see that at this point, but I was.
That would have been an all-timer, by the way. You're already blowing your own whistle here to stop plays, and now you go check in as well.
Let me go check into the game. But,
you live life to tell stories, man. That officiating crew would have remembered it.
There's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt. And it's funny. It's like we watch those officials, and I tell them all the time, particularly in our league, like you watch them grow as well, and I root for a lot of those guys, and I tell them all the time, it's like my goal for every official is not to see you on a Saturday. I said, if I don't see you refereeing in our league on a Saturday, that means you made it. Because obviously the guys who call in our league, particularly during the week, the better ones, they're in the SEC, they're in the ACC, they're in a higher level league on the weekend, and when we're getting the young, inexperienced crews on Saturday, which quite frankly, we never know quite what we're getting.
Yeah, that's true.
But when I stop seeing them on Saturday and I'm watching the TV before our game, watching somebody play, and I'm like, hey, that guy made it. And I root for those guys in that sense, too.
That's cool.
Yeah, Bobby, you've got the exhibition against Warner that's open to the public at the UNF Arena. Is it going to be like Saturday in the closed scrimmage? Is that going to be scripted for you and your staff?
No, we're going to treat it as a game. We're going to treat it as a game with the intention of having all healthy bodies play. So that's my intention going in, but we're gonna treat it a little bit more like a game, a little bit more regular rotations, maybe not as lengthy stints, because I want everybody to have the opportunity to compete with the lights on and everything else. But we are gonna, not necessarily 5 in, 5 out every 4 minutes like we did. We're gonna kind of treat it more like a game with a substitution pattern with the eye on depth, with the eye on seeing all healthy bodies.
Well, I know you talked a couple times already here on Talon Talk this year about the depth that you have. You think you got a lot of guys. At some point, usually, folks will settle into a rotation of some kind. Do you take this whole next couple of months to settle into that conference rotation? Do you think your rotation will be, as it's been in the past, like 7 or 8, or do you think it could grow even bigger? Like, what's your gut say, or what do you know right now about what that rotation of players could look like in a real game setting, and not just now, but really when you get to conference?
Yeah. In a real game setting, I think we've got a chance to be. I think we've got a chance to play 10 guys.
Okay.
And
that's a lot.
The challenge that's going to be even a little bit more difficult is I think there's a guy or two that have the opportunity to play who won't be with us for the first 6 or 8 weeks of the season. And the challenge is going to be blending those guys in when they get healthy. But one of the things that has kind of stood out, and same thing, like somebody walked through practice yesterday and said, man, these guys are really, really competitive all the time. And I think when you have that, that's gonna encourage guys to stay ready, encourage guys to be ready for their opportunity. And when it comes, I think we'll have some flexibility. I think our starting lineup would be a little bit more fluid this year. I think there's 3 or 4 guys who are kind of separating themselves, but we have a couple spots where it may depend on matchups, may depend on who's playing better, and I think that's a good thing.
I talked to a number of people when I was over at soccer. They caught a little bit of the closed scrimmage. One of the first few things they talked about, they said defense. They were pleased with the defense. What did you see from the defense?
Well, I was very pleased. I think our season is going to come down to how well we guard ball screens, like anything else. And I thought we were okay. I think the biggest thing that I took away from that we took away from the scrimmage is the team we were playing, thought they were an elite rebounding team on both ends of the floor. That was the big thing. Is we kind of talked and exchanged information going into it. That was his thing. We're really rebounding the ball. We really rebound the ball. Really well. We out rebounded them by 6.
Oh wow.
And I was pleased. I was certainly pleased with that because that's my concern. I mean, that's the part of defense is. I mean, obviously you've got to cover schemes. You've got to guard the basketball, but the most important thing is you have to rebound it. And we're not overly we're big across the board, but we're not big in the front court. So I think we rebounded as a team, and I think that's going to be a key to our season this year.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Carter Hendrickson, part of the staff that you've built out, obviously former player. I think people know his name so well with what he did on the court. How's he settling into that role? And how's that acclimation from player to coach for him?
Yeah, he's doing outstanding. Sometimes guys like Carter have a hard time adjusting to coaching, and I guess what I mean by that is like Carter was a coach's dream. And sometimes when you coach, you don't understand why everyone's not like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest adjustment that guys like him make. But he's had the ability to connect with our guys. He obviously has the ability to relate, but he has a strong mind and he has a passion for UNF, and all those things together are great. He's responsible. He watches film with a couple of our guys individually, and just kind of watching them grow, or kind of walking through and seeing them come in the office or seeing them out on the court. And this morning he's in there, rebounding for guys early this morning. Like he's really connecting with our guys, and he has a really bright future in this profession.
How about the rest of the staff? How much have they elevated, in your opinion, their game? Because everybody's kind of taken on, especially the guys that you've been around for a long time. Do you notice it? Is it the same? Yeah. Do you think it's different? How do you view it?
I think it's a little bit different because they've all just kind of had added responsibilities, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like I've challenged everyone to grow, grow and contribute in different ways, and to have a voice. Like even during our practice, we each have different segments where like we'll have an individual development session every day, and each guy's kind of responsible for a group of guys. We've got, Coach Evans is on the defensive side of the ball. He's gonna coach some drills there. Coach Perkins does some stuff on that defensive side of the ball too. A lot of our rebounding stuff Coach Marlin's doing. Coach Ackerman and Coach Hendrickson are helping me on the offensive side of the ball. Coach Marlin's doing our special situations, he's doing our baseline out of bounds stuff. So I really feel like, just like our team is versatile, our staff is versatile, and our staff is deep as well. And I'm very pleased with that.
Exhibition against Warner UNF Arena, 7 o'clock, open and free to the public. I'm wondering too, tomorrow, is it a game day? Is it shoot around? Is it breakfast as a team, etc.?
Yeah, it is. It is. We're good. Same thing we did with the scrimmage. We're treating this, as a game. This is kind of our walkthrough. So we'll have a shoot around at 2 o'clock. We'll eat at 3. The guys will be back in the arena at 5:30 for a 7 o'clock game. We'll start our routine, our team routine 55 minutes before the game, and we're going to play. So it's different. Like the routines kind of changed from what it's been in the past. And so we kind of had a dry run. We had a dry run on Saturday. We treated that the same thing. We did the, Friday practice before, Saturday morning shoot around, pregame meal, back, and everything else. And you have very limited opportunities to get ready for this. And you have so many new guys. I mean, even, we have 6 freshmen, 4 true freshmen, 2 redshirt freshmen, but just to kind of get them in the routine and say, hey, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, all the things we talked about a bit last week, I think it was, all those little nuanced deals that go on before the ball's even tipped to make sure it's in a good place, and this is a good practice deal to do that. Do you already have your suit picked out for Florida?
I do. It's funny. Unfortunately, and God bless him, has spent part of the morning at Mr. Martinez' funeral. Yeah. So obviously I pulled a suit out of the closet for that. And as I was kind of getting ready last night, I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to wear. Here's what I'm going to wear at Florida. So I do.
You have it ready to go.
So I do.
By the way, thoughts with everybody in the Marinatis family, of course, such a big name and big family on the campus of the University of North Florida. That was really sad news to hear the passing of Tony Marinatis. I think a lot of folks that follow UNF know him very well, or at least know his presence. And if you've ever been around him, you know that smile and a lot of great energy. So to Derek and the family and everyone, thoughts with all of them from the entire Osprey family, but all of Jacksonville as well. So I know that was this morning. On a little brighter a note there. Can you? Tomorrow's an autograph session after the game as well with these guys. So it's the first interaction for some fans to be able to see your guys and so many new guys, like you said. This isn't 3, 4, 5, 6 guys coming back that you seem like you know because you've been to 10 UNF Osprey games over the last year or two. What's the personality of your guys? Is this a quiet group? Is it a loud group? Do you have a little bit of everything? Who's the class clown? Who's the Energizer Bunny? What do you got? Tell us a little bit about these guys.
Yeah, I think we certainly have a mix. It's very interesting to kind of watch a team evolve, and obviously, we spent a lot of time together, off the court throughout the summer and throughout the fall, and as we kind of get to know guys. But I think, Trey Caddy's a freshman, really energetic, very, very big personality, and I think that's gonna show and shine right away. Everybody loves KJ. I swear KJ could be the mayor of Jacksonville every time I turn around. So he's got a great voice.
Flat out shoot it.
Oh yeah,
right?
he got on a run. He got on a run the other day. It's like bang bang bang. I think he made 3 threes in about 4 trips, and the game changes.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that he has the ability to do.
Young man from Episcopal, by the way.
Absolutely. But I just think people find out that we have quality people up and down our roster, and it's nice to get to know them. Even the guys that were here last year that weren't front and center, they had a limited role or a small role, and as they get to know them and as they get to see them, I think they're going to be pleased with who they are and how they represent our program and our university.
You got some edge to some. We were on the show today. We were talking about Draymond Green. I don't know if you want that guy that's going to tee up all the time, but you need some edge, right? You need some kind of like unpredictability, right? It's not a bad thing. Probably not great all the time from a coach. But I think for a team, it's not a bad thing.
No. It's we had a little edge at practice yesterday. We had a little skirmish yesterday as well. Which is good. And I'm not shying away from that. Like I said, we've really competed, and we've competed in everything in almost everything we've done every time we step on the court at practice. And it's funny, Coach Evans we were together this morning, and we were riding back to campus, and he said, really, like, we've got a bunch of guys who want to win. And I think when that's the case and when something's on the line all the time, you're going to get that.
You need that Chris Davenport, somebody that's going to anger the other team, right? Or a Garrett Sams too.
We've had a few of those. Yeah, that CD was definitely that way. Garrett was that way. There's no doubt about it. But we're gonna have some of that.
The autograph signing, sorry, Brent. Autograph signing afterwards. Are you going to be talking to fans once the game is done with Warner too?
Of course. Yeah, we're going to continue some of the traditions that we've done. I think it's one of the great things is after home games, our guys kind of generally just go through the stands and say hello and thank our fans for coming. And I think that's one of the great things about UNF, and I think that's one of the great things about our fans is like you can actually come and be part of the experience. And I kind of liken it to. There's a difference between going to a Braves game and going to the Jumbo Shrimp game. That's one of the beauties of minor league baseball. It's just the fan interaction, the fan experience. I think that's one of the things that we can provide, at UNF is that we can provide access to our student athletes and they can be front and center. And I think that's only going to help us grow.
Well, it's really good for them, right? Yes. Because it's a little abnormal. You don't usually do that. But
right.
And I'm not sure everybody wants to do that specifically after a loss. Right. But you're consistent with that. You do that, some transparency. And like I had mentioned to you, that's why, like, if you've been around UNF athletics and basketball, you feel like you know some of these guys. If you're a fan that comes to more than one game or, you go to games because of some of those kind of interactions, it makes you easy to root for. I always say it builds equity a little bit, too, when you know somebody and you feel like you're invested along with them in some way, shape, or form. And that's not a bad thing, especially in today's athletics where we only look at the win-loss column most of the time from the outside looking in.
Certainly, and I had all the seniors over for dinner on Sunday night. And that's one of the things that we talked about is like, sometimes when you get to be a senior, like you're concerned about, what's next. And we just kind of talked about what's now. We're together for the season, like take advantage of every single opportunity. Tara Sundquist and her academic advising, they're doing a career fair tonight from 5 to 7 in the arena. And she works really, really hard on that to kind of match with employers and get people there. And I just really want our guys, to they're always going to have an eye on what's next, because they're going to be professionals. Hopefully some of them play professional, but they're going to be, it's the NCAA commercial. They're going to be pros in one thing or another. But just to meet employers and to have those experiences. We had a CFO at practice on Friday, a former student athlete, a former graduate assistant, and he's gonna bring one of our guys in here in the next 2 weeks to kind of sit down with him and talk to him about his future and try to help him as he graduates. Because at the end of the day, my job is to win games. I mean, make no mistake about it, and I'm as well aware of that as anyone else. But at the same time, we're here to help those young men in their future, and that's what it's all about.
Are you wearing the suit tomorrow night?
No, I'm actually going to wear a pullover tomorrow night. I was going to, and it's crazy. We had a discussion. Some of our I guess some of the pants aren't in yet, so they decided that they wanted to wear some black pants tomorrow, and I actually had to just go out and pick some up because my wardrobe is blue and gray. So that's pretty much it. So I had to get some to match the guys tomorrow night.
I don't know if we're getting you on next week, but let's just in case we don't. Your opener's against Florida next Thursday. Obviously, defending national champs. They look all reports. They're looking pretty good too with the people they brought in, and probably spent a few bucks to do so. How good are they? How good you think they are with this whole back-to-back thing? And who else in your opinion in the country is going to be really good? Because that's a really hard thing to know these days, about the meshing it together. But who will people have their eyes on? Will it be the usuals, or are there some others in there that maybe people aren't talking about?
Yeah, I think Florida probably returns the best front court in the country. So they kind of have that start. I mean, I think one of the things that you're going to see out of them this year is their front court was fantastic last year, but they were so guard dominant. Like their backcourt was the best in the country. So now I think they're going to kind of flip that front court a little bit and try to play three big guys together, which I think is going to be a real challenge. But I think it's a lot of the same usual suspects. I mean, I think UConn is going to be really good. People are really high on Michigan and what they've done. Alabama, of course, is again at the top. But I just think the SEC has a lot of depth. Purdue, obviously preseason number one. Kentucky, Houston. I mean, there's so many. I've had an opportunity to watch Purdue and Kentucky a little bit on Friday night. Had a chance to check them out, kind of going into the season. But I mean, the best thing about our game is that it is true. The way it's all set up is 365 teams have a chance to win a national championship because 365 teams can play in their conference tournament. 365 teams get a right to earn their way in, and then once you're in, see what happens.
Just a quick thought on that from all these blue bloods, or at least their traditional teams. I don't know if Houston all the time you factor them into as a blue blood, but they've been really good for a while now. How are they all figuring it out? Are they just invested, do you think? Because football hasn't worked that way, right? I mean, you think Texas and everybody else is going to be the greatest, and then Indiana's number 2 in the country in football. So are you surprised that the traditional powers are staying up top in basketball? And there's I don't know about no newcomers, but maybe not as many newcomers yet.
Yeah, well, I think basketball is a little bit different, right? You only play 5 guys on the court at a time. You're talking about football, you have to have 11 guys on both sides of the ball. You have special teams. Like, there's a lot more depth to it. In basketball, you can have 2 or 3 guys that you're able to get can really impact and change your program. And I think the traditional powers have really invested in keeping their guys. They've essentially recruited the top 50 high school players in the country. That's what they're doing. And then they're retaining those guys as long as they're not going to the NBA. And then they're going out and they're getting the best available transfers. I mean, places like Louisville, they're another team that's going to be talked about in the national championship discussion this year. I mean, some of these programs are really, really just going all in and just kind of trying to get. But I think it's one thing to get the best players. I think it's another thing to get the best players who are best for you. I think the ones who are doing that, we're ultimately going to find that they're the most successful. I mean, every year it's like, well, this team has this, last year this team has a $20 million roster and they stink. And this team's not supposed to be good, and they do. It's just about getting the right blend, and not everyone can coach everyone. And I think it's important to, analytics and numbers will tell you so much, but like who actually fits you. And I think in this whole speed dating process, I know one of our young men that went to Indiana. I mean, he He had his first phone call. He was on a plane within 16 hours. He was committed within 30 hours. And it's like, how well, film numbers, but personality mess, like how well can you figure that out?
Yeah. That's a marriage that usually ends up in divorce if it ends up that quick, right? Yeah. But you don't need to be together forever in today's world.
Right. Just got to find a way to make it work.
For a year or so.
Bobby, we were talking out in the hallway after the exhibition against Warner Wednesday night, open to the public, 7 p.m., but you're going to give the team a little bit of a break, and you'll go on the recruiting trail for maybe a couple days.
Yep. So we're gonna the NCAA, the way our sport works right now is you get to practice 42 days before your first game. So that is Thursday the 6th, but you can only practice 30 of those days. So essentially, our rhythm has been in these last 5 weeks is we've taken Sunday off and we've taken Thursday off. Well, this week we're not going to do that to kind of get to our 12 days. We're gonna play on Wednesday night. Thursday we'll get back together, watch film, practice. We'll practice on Friday morning, and then I'm going to give the guys off the rest of the day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come back Monday with a lift and practice, and kind of go into our regular game week. The thing about men's basketball that's really, really difficult is we're a 2-semester sport. I mean, we're really a year-round sport. And, our guys are going to get 3.5 days at Christmas. One of the reasons why I love recruiting Florida guys is they can actually go see their families. Like they can get in the car and go home. I mean, we got a couple who are going to drive across town. We have some that are going to go to Tampa. We have some that are going to go to West Palm. And I just think that that's important. I mean, it's important. So I'm going to go recruit for a couple days and see one of our guys who's committed, and then with the eye towards the spring, we're going to have a couple scholarships, we're going to sign 3 guys here in a couple weeks, and have a couple scholarships going into the spring, and continue to kind of work on that, and work towards building our team for the future as well.
Good stuff. Bobby Kennen, men's basketball coach at the University of North Florida. Thanks for hanging with us. Good luck tomorrow. Hope those black pants fit.
Yeah, they're in the bag right now. I hope so too. Hey, you know how it is. It's like you have to actually order them online and pick them up. I've never done that before, but hey,
you should be the same. Your body type hasn't changed in a long time since I've known you, man.
Yeah,
the pants will fit fine.
I'm ready to go. But appreciate you all, and again, good luck to volleyball Thursday. Good luck to Coach picking his teams this weekend, and hopefully it's a good week for Osprey Athletics.
Yeah, we'll talk some women's soccer when we come back, and also some cross country and track and field with Coach Pig on the way. Talon Talk here on every Tuesday, 2 to 3 p.m. But you can always check it out on all social media, and it replays here in the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 network multiple times a week.
Hi, I'm Joel Donovan. My brother Kyle and I, we are co-owners and operators here at Donovan Heat and Air and Electric, and my dad started the business in 1987 to provide the greater Jacksonville area with a great customer service experience. 3 decades later, we're still doing the same thing. I love the Jacksonville area, I love the community, I love raising my family here. That's my name on the side of the building, and it's really important for our family to run this company the way it should be ran, and something to be proud of.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
We're CSI companies. We partner with organizations nationwide to help employers like you find your dream team. You're looking to hire the best of the best, and we've got you covered, start to finish. Whether you're hiring for projects or everyday operations, we provide the talent, strategic solutions, and innovative technologies that keep your business ahead of the competition. This is your workforce reimagined. This is CSI Companies.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Shacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com. Hey, welcome back to Talon Talk. Brent Martineau along with Richard Miller, and we're talking some women's soccer here on the show in our next segment. Take you up until 3 o'clock. Coach Pig will join us as well before that 3 o'clock hour, but Paige McSwiggan joins us as we get set for some tournament soccer here, Richard. We got the ASUN tournament starting later this week.
Oh, big time against, it'll be down at FGCU in Fort Myers against Eastern Kentucky. Always a formidable opponent.
Well, there you go. Are you looking forward to it, Paige? Hello, and thanks for stopping in.
Hi, thanks for having me.
This is go time, right?
Yes, it's very exciting. It's going to be a great couple of days. Definitely hoping to get through to the end and, obviously lift that trophy up.
That would be awesome. What gives you confidence you guys can do that as you enter the ASUN tournament?
I think we're a very talented team, and we definitely have what it takes. It just takes the belief in the end, So we're all very excited going into this game on Thursday, and yeah, it's very exciting, and I know we can get it done.
And Richard playing pretty well. 2 wins, 2 ties, the last 4 matches.
Yeah, playing very well. One of the things, Paige, I've liked is Zoe Looker. She's been very selfless. Usually somebody that's going to be a forward, now playing the back line. She got the header goal over the weekend. How cool was that to see that from her?
It's amazing. That's her second goal with her head now. She's really stepped it up these past few weeks. We've loved to see her grow and go into that center back position. It's definitely a very hard task, and she's stepped right up, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
I like that phrasing right there. That's her second goal with her head. There's a delineation there, huh? Foot or head?
Yeah, I mean, typically it's hard to get a header goal, but she
yeah.
has the height and she has the bite too. So she isn't afraid.
Yeah,
So.
give us a sense, like a little progress report from, we just mentioned 2 last 4 out, 2 ties, 2 wins. Where are you guys at now compared to maybe where you were 2 months ago, do you think, as a soccer team?
Yeah, so as a soccer team, we've definitely grown this season a lot. And you can see it. I mean, being unbeaten in our last 4 games, that's very big, especially going into conference championships. So it's very exciting moving forward because we know we could take that momentum into the tournament and turn it into more wins. So a couple months ago, it was up and down for sure. We were winning and then we were losing and all sorts. But I think we have this momentum going in, and it'll be really good.
How nice was it for you? I texted your coach, Eric Faulkner, getting your first goal over at JU, kind of getting that monkey off your back. And who knows, stuff can really open up in the ASUN tournament for you.
Yeah, it felt amazing to finally get a goal this year. And the goal was crazy, too, because it took some physical risk. And I definitely think that's probably the best goal I've ever scored. I've scored some pretty cool goals in my life, but this being against JU and being the one to tie up the game, and because I got punched in the head, it definitely was the coolest goal I've ever scored.
There's the risk, huh?
Yes.
You came out of it okay, though.
Yeah, I did. No concussion, just bruising, but all good.
How much is that on your mind, actually? I mean, it's a physical game. I think people don't always see that, right? And avoiding injury in a year, especially the long season that it is a task almost, right?
Yes, it is. I definitely think that our coaching staff does a good job of keeping us healthy, especially Hannah, of course, our athletic trainer, she does a great job of keeping us healthy, but our coaches, they have a good balance during practice, and like they know going into games that it's a lot of physical strain every single day, but and especially in the sport, soft tissue injuries are a big thing. So Hannah helps us out. I mean, she's obviously always available, but yeah, they all work together to keep us healthy. So I think we're pretty fortunate.
Paige, there's no hiding you on the field anymore. For a while, maybe you could get away with that. 7 goals last season. You're on the Philippines national team. Congrats to that. That was a huge honor. And then this year, it seems like you're man-marked and you're double and triple teamed at times. How do you mentally get past that and just keep pushing?
I mean, it definitely helps, like, with my teammates around me. They're always helping me, of course, getting out of every situation. But mentally, like, I don't know. I guess you just have to keep going forward. And, like, you almost see it as a privilege to be somebody who has to be accounted for, you know? So, yeah, I think just relying on my teammates, trusting them, and, you know, we just keep moving forward. Can't get down on yourself or think too hard about things when you're in the moment, so.
Paige McSwiggan with us, women's soccer player, getting ready for the quarterfinals against Florida Gulf Coast down there in Southwest Florida, coming up on Thursday. Hopefully, make a run in the tournament. Let's go backwards, for you get a little background. Obviously, from right here in Jacksonville, Creekside High School, some really good soccer, some of the best soccer in the country, right down there on Longleaf Pine with Bartram Trail right there, and just girls soccer in general in our area. St. John's Country Day, Bartram, Creekside, all really good amongst others. Ponte Vedra is going to be really good this year as well, just like they were last year. What is that part like for you? You went to Cincinnati at first, right? And I think you had family that
Yes.
had gone to Cincinnati too, so you had a little lineage there. But to play here at home, and is it cool to be in your own backyard
100%.
playing?
Yeah, I mean, looking into the stands every day, I always see somebody I know.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing in and of itself. And I have such a great support system here, and just like seeing everybody from high school still, I mean, that's great. And obviously being able to see my family every single week, that's a blessing. So it's definitely different. I mean, at Cincinnati, I also had family up there. Both my parents went to Cincinnati, and my aunt actually played soccer there too. So that was pretty cool to be able to go there, and some of my family still lives there as well. So that was cool to be able to see them, but Jacksonville is my home, you know, so I just love the beach so much. And yeah, I'm very happy to be back here.
Yeah, a little warmer down here in some of those soccer evenings, especially in late October, and then you get to November. They're up in Cincinnati. I wanted to ask you this, so you just talk about the goal you had against Jacksonville University. Got a nice rivalry here, UNF JU, River City Rumble. How's it compare to Bartram Trail Creekside? Because that's a heck of a I mean, that is a legit rivalry that you can feel when you're down there. And do you feel kind of UNF JU in a similar way? Are they different? What do you think?
Yeah, that's hilarious because, I mean, Bartram was right down the road from Creekside, and now JU, our biggest rival, is right down the road from UNF. So there definitely is, it's always a derby when we play them. There definitely is some feeling about JU down the road, and there definitely was back then against Bartram, and there still is, of course. I always want to see Creekside beat Bartram, and we're always looking to beat JU just because we want to own the city, and that's how we feel. It was called the Battle of Longleaf in high school against Bartram, so we wanted to own Longleaf, and it's the same thing here. We want to own Jacksonville.
It's tough to duplicate some of those rivalries. It's cool at UNF you got that built-in one with JU. You don't even have to try another one.
Yeah, that's right. River City Rumble. I'm wondering, I don't know if I've ever asked you, with soccer, numbers mean so much, your jersey number. Each time it looks like you've switched at North Florida, 35, 14, now currently 10. Was there a meaning for each of those, and why change?
Yeah, I mean, 35, it was kind of just the number that was thrown at me coming in as a freshman.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Right. You always have to go through that as a freshman, I feel.
I'm trying to think of a 35. Like, where would that come from?
Yeah, so I was definitely thrown into that one. 14, I've always just liked that number, but I don't know. I kind of just wanted the number 10 this year, and it was open. for my senior year. So I thought that was a cool grab, and I did. So.
Wow, we were looking for some deep story. It was just like, hey, I'm changing numbers.
Yeah.
Gonna have to hang them all up.
Yeah.
At some point. Well, Paige McSwiggan, women's soccer, good luck. When are you guys leaving tomorrow?
Yeah,
Obviously.
tomorrow morning, early.
Okay. Well, enjoy, how fun are the rides?
Oh,
Even
they're
when they're a long
amazing.
ride.
Yeah, no, I mean, the team is great this year. We love spending time together, and the bus rides are always so fun. And getting into the hotel, even though they're long hours, we still just enjoy being around each other. So, yeah, it's great.
All right, go play well, and good luck in the ASUN quarterfinals coming up at FGCU. And we'll play EKU. I think I said playing FGCU. Playing EKU at FGCU. 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. So we'll keep you updated on how the women Ospreys do coming up on Thursday in the quarterfinals. When we come back, we talk a little cross-country, track and field. Jeff Pig, the coach, on Talon Talk on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hi, I'm Joel Donovan. My brother Kyle and I, we are co-owners and operators here at Donovan Heating Air and Electric, and my dad started the business in 1987 to provide the greater Jacksonville area with a great customer service experience. 3 decades later, we're still doing the same thing. I love the Jacksonville area, I love the community, I love raising my family here. That's my name on the side of the building, and it's really important for our family to run this company the way it should be ran, and something to be proud of.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
We're CSI companies. We partner with organizations nationwide to help employers like you find your dream team. You're looking to hire the best of the best, and we've got you covered, start to finish. Whether you're hiring for projects or everyday operations, we provide the talent, strategic solutions, and innovative technologies that keep your business ahead of the competition. This is your workforce reimagined. This is CSI Companies.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I want to play in the NFL.
That's it. Backdoor left side, takes a shot.
Oh,
into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking. We've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, take a look at the men's golf team as they are, well, tough business for the men's golf team. They're in Hawaii right now. That's where I have no idea how to say this, Richard Miller. Do you know how to say it?
Canopoly?
Yeah, I will go
I believe
for
it's
it.
something like that.
Yeah, Canopoly Classic, which would be kind of cool. I think right outside of Maui or right near Maui. Oklahoma, this is the field, by the way. Oklahoma, TCU, Florida Gulf Coast, Boise State, Georgia, some huge schools. University of North Florida, after day one, was third, and they just teed off this morning for day number 2. So they'll be out there for a few days. Brent Martineau, Richard Miller, and welcome back to Talon Talk here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Again, replays throughout the week, 24 hours a day. You can watch us on actionsportsjax.com. You can also go find these shows back on social media, on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and also look up UNFOspreys.com for everything Ospreys related, including how the cross-country track and field team's doing. And Jeff Pigg's here to tell us about that. You don't have to read about it. We can just ask you. How are you?
Yeah, they're doing well. I mean, we got a veteran group on both sides this year, and those veterans are doing well. You know, everybody stayed healthy. They came in prepared. You know, it's kind of a year-round deal with the distance runner. They've got to stay pretty focused. In the summer, it's really important to be good now, and then being able to stay healthy is important. So both sides are healthy, number one, and obviously we've had some good races. Confidence is pretty high, and I think we're doing well. Looking forward to the ASUN Championships here this Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Here it is, right? I mean, this is what you kind of build toward.
Yeah.
It's this time of year. And
Absolutely.
you feel like you've kind of ascended to a good spot to be in going into this week.
I'll tell you Saturday, but I think so. Hey, I don't think we'd second. Coach Talon and I were talking today, and it's like we wouldn't really do anything different. I mean, we feel good about where we're at. You could, hindsight's excellent, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. But we're excited to go, line up and sort of see where we stack up against the. So it'll be a good meet.
You mentioned your associate head coach in Tyler Stahl. How neat is that for you, of somebody you coached at North Florida now being kind of your right-hand guy?
Yeah, I mean, he was a great runner for us. He came in and he was one of those guys who was just a good Florida kid that came in and developed really well and was pretty pivotal, helping us sort of change the culture to thinking about not just going to the regional meet, but going to the regional meet and competing at a high level, winning ASUN championships. And so he was great for that. Then he was a JSO officer for 3 years, criminal justice major, and then got back into coaching. Then was at Louisiana Monroe for a year as their head coach. And when he saw I had the opening, he was interested and was able to get him back here. He loves Jacksonville, and he loves UNF, and he's just tremendous. He's great help for me. He coaches the women's team. To bring him back, I had to kind of let go of a couple things that I've done for years, and obviously I trust him. We work together on everything we've done for the last 3 years, but I had to kind of just give him the reins of something, and he's done a tremendous.
All right, I hope you don't get mad for me asking this question, but you've been a really good coach at this level and at the University of North Florida, so certainly not taking anything away. But we see sports and we see like schemes and X's and O's, and we're talking to Bobby Kennen. He can run some things. He can dial up a play on an inbounds play. There's a lot of managerial stuff. There's other things. What makes a good cross-country coach?
Well,
what do you coach? What are you coaching? Form? Putting people in their best positions? Like, where's the edge?
I think the edge is, you coach people, not events. And, it's kind of true for every sport. So you have to learn each person, learn their strengths, their weaknesses, try to help them stay healthy, become more confident, and become more competent. You got to understand the workload that they're going to be able to handle, stay healthy, and progress. Sometimes we see kids that are really talented, coaches get greedy and bury their talent, and they're just kind of worn out, and then end up injured or just, flat, not able to perform. So I think the hard thing for us, and one of the things we offer is it's not about us, it's not about the way we do things, but, it's partnership. We're going to learn what works best for you. We're going to try to take where they are when they come here and just get better and get better and get better. And a lot of kids are different. We have good girls running anywhere from 40 miles a week to 75 miles. And with the guys are running, 50 miles a week. Some are running 100. And a lot of times there's progression in every year. That's one of the things that it keeps healthy, and it's what kind of can continue to feed them and let them get better when they're able to handle it physically, mentally, and so that's a big part of it. Is there's a lot. I feel like in many ways there's a lot more time talking and talking with the kid, but more so listening to them, kind of analyzing how things are going and making adjustments. So we don't have a playbook. We learn that as we go all the way through the season and through the careers of a lot of these kids. And like I said, even though it's cross country, we're all running 5 miles for the men. A lot of those guys are doing a little bit different stuff, but we come together workout days and we do things together, but everybody's different,
Richard, 50 to 100 miles. That's why I stopped running cross country after my sophomore year in high school.
Yeah, I
So
drive
wanted
that
to
per
do
week.
that.
That's I max out at 100, and that's where I'm at, Coach.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you think about it, that's less than an hour a day for a person running 50 miles a week a day, and I know Paige was just in here, and I know she works out more than an hour a day.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So I see the other athletes.
That's a fair point.
So and I look at a deer, standing out there. They run how many miles a week? Do deer run? And they stay pretty healthy. So I've never seen one in a boot. So the truth is, I feel like that our kids are kind of made to do this. It's pretty natural. They're light on their feet. They do have good form. We don't have to change a ton of that. It's about being ready at the right time. Going back to the spring and into the summer with Smilla, being able to be at a top level and how long can you stay there? So many times that peak is a pretty short period of time. Same thing with our cross country team. We opened really well against Florida State here at home. We were excited about that, but then it's like, okay, how do we keep building on that? Because you've always, there's always the next week and the next week. So how can you do something at a high level and continue to build on it?
You said something really interesting. Some go 50 to 100 miles, but that varies. Like we're living in a world where it feels like you got to do more to outwork the next person or be better than the other person.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's not necessarily the case? Some people perform better by running maybe 60 miles versus 80 miles.
I heard last night, I was watching something on ESPN, and they said you got to work smart and hard. And the reality is you got to find that line. And that's a lot of communication. That's a lot of listening, paying attention to what's going on. When we know that it's a busy time of year academically, one of the big things we do is we have a light week. We back off from the training. When the professors all realize that that's a great week to have a test and the kids are loaded, then we know, okay, that's the time to back off. And you learn that from talking to the kids. How's this? What's going on this week? You sort of see that start to happen, and you just know that points of the year you're training, you're going to stay pretty tired. You just kind of got to know that, and then you got to kind of know how to unload a little bit without feeling lethargic. So, it's kind of an ongoing process, and you do have to know your team. But the key things for us are remembering that it's about them, not us, and building a program that fits each kid, and being flexible and understanding what we think.
Coach, you've been in North Florida since August of 2012. How nice has it been? How neat has it been of you seeing Hodges Stadium grow and the track grow? And that's a good recruiting tool.
It's a great recruiting tool for us. But I think the university itself being a very good school, you're not going to bring good cross-country runners unless you offer a good education. And, my daughters were probably going to run in college when we took the job here, and I was like, I want to go to a place that I feel like I would want my kids to run at, and it's just continued to grow. Obviously the facilities are great, the climate's excellent, surroundings as a whole are good, but as they always say, it's the people that make a place special. And Nick and Irv, Nancy, they've been here the whole time I've been here, and so when I think about what makes our place such a good place, I look at our assistant coaches, I look at our athletic trainer that's now, so we retain people, and not just because of the money, but because they like it. And I think it's exciting to see the growth. Some of that stuff is going to help us in the competitive world. There's no question about that. Some of the things we have happening, but had a nice track the whole time in here. Yeah. And Irv just keeps taking care of it, bringing in more meets, and that's awesome. And the more he's learned and has experienced hosting big meets, the less our staff has to do. So he takes on the load of hosting these meets, and that's been awesome too. See the growth. I think a lot of people around, at least around the eastern half of the U.S. know that we host great meets, on an excellent competition form, and so there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you can say world class. You can't do that at every school, and you can do that with what is going on with track and field and the events hosted, and obviously run a really good program. I got two big questions for you. Smilla Colby, we've had her on, we've documented her story. It's unbelievable. Is that a once in a coaching career kind of?
I've had a few kids win national titles, not many, and you kind of wonder, is it ever going to happen again? Yeah. And then I feel like that as far as kids that compete in Olympic Games, a few of those, but very few. And it is, and I think especially at a place like North Florida, because so many of those kids get considerable, things to go other places, opportunities,
Checks.
you know, and so for her to come here and then believe in us, stay here, you know, that's really neat. But she made this place hers. She came in, she liked it. Kind of what we said. You don't have to have great teammates. You don't have to have great. You need weather. You need a coach. You need a belief, a facility. You know, competition's here. And so I think her attitude, she wasn't always looking around to find out what somebody else was doing. Looking to us for guidance. We have a great partnership. And, yeah, glad she came. It's been so much fun. Just seeing her get better. But there again, it's back to some of the basics. We learned what she had done, what worked for her. We added things to it and continued to develop a plan. And, you know, we work together. I mean, there's no doubt.
Yeah, one of the most decorated athletes ever at the University of North Florida. My other question, Cecil Field, where the ASUN Championships can be, like, what's the course like?
It's flat. It's a nice place. You know, I guess it was a golf course a long time ago, and then Frisbee Golf had some guys had taken it over and leased it. And so we didn't really know that it was available. I knew they had a high school meet on a certain weekend, but I didn't know that it was available. And then Irv found that out last year when we were kind of in need to move our home meet because of weather. You know, I mean, September it gets flooded and then it stays, and you can't really train. So to move out there has been a great thing. And Richard Fannin has hosted meets out there for a long time. He does a great job, takes so much pride in setting up a great course. So it's been, I mean, it's just a great place for us. And, you know, the environment out there, it's wide open. It's very user-friendly for the athletes. So there's no, like, weird rocky spots or sandy spots, muddy part. You know, like, it's just a great, straightforward course that's fair for everyone. Very fortunate, again, to have that.
One of my favorite stories was last year. I think it was a couple of videographers saying, I rode with Coach Pig, and it was something else. You know, like the back of your hand, I guess, weaving through with the golf cart.
I'm an excellent driver. There's no question about that. NASCAR, you know, has been one of my favorite sports, and I follow Formula One. Yeah, so good driver. There's no. You can ask any of the kids on.
You good? Do you run still? You run a lot?
No, I mountain bike a lot.
Mountain bike a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
Hannah Park. Head there this afternoon, and you can't get hit by a car in Hannah Park. I mean, you should. Hopefully you don't.
Hopefully
you know what I'm saying? So I feel, not
Yeah.
disparaging to the guys that ride on the road, but I feel safer off.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
I love it out there.
I do not blame you there. Coach Jeff Pig, good luck. ASUN Championships coming up Friday, Halloween, of course, right there at Cecil Field. And then in a couple weeks, the South Regional Championship over in Alabama. So best of luck with finishing up this fall season.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Talon Talk right here on the Action Sports Shacks 24/7 Network. Good to have Bobby Kennen on, also Paige McSwiggan. For Jason Hamby, Richard Miller, I'm Brent Martineau. See you next Tuesday from the new locker rooms. We're going to host the show inside UNF Arena. And don't forget tomorrow, UNF exhibition game free to the public at 7 o'clock at the arena for men's basketball.
Hi, I'm Joel Donovan. My brother Kyle and I, we are co-owners and operators here at Donovan Heat and Air Electric, and my dad started the business in 1987 to provide the greater Jacksonville area with a great customer service experience. 3 decades later, we're still doing the same thing. I love the Jacksonville area, I love the community, I love raising my family here. That's my name on the side of the building, and it's really important for our family to run this company the way it should be ran. It's something to be proud of.
If you don't see a pit